again, another thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Sunday afternoon, ladies. We are going to have a look at the TM6 today. I am recording this, so welcome if you're watching the recording as well. If you couldn't make it online today, but one of your friends has shared this link with you, welcome. And on the menu today, we've got a few yummy things on the menu. I'm doing a herb and garlic dip, where I will show you how easy it is to whip up a dip in your Thermomix in like 10 seconds. The Brazilian cheese puffs, oh, I'm big now. The Brazilian cheese puffs, which are our family's favourite probably snack made in the Thermomix. Speaking of which, I need to preheat my oven. Rigo, I forgot to do that. So yeah, favourite snack. They are gluten-free, so they're good for pretty much everybody. You can use dairy-free substitutes in them as well. So pretty much everybody can have them with a few tweaks. And then we're doing a mushroom risotto, which mushroom risotto is probably the classic Thermomix dish. I'll give you a few tips for those of you guys who've got a Thermomix. I'll give you some tips as we go through how to make sure that your mushroom risotto is perfect every time as well. But before we get started, we will tell you how you get a Thermomix and what's included. So our Thermomix is $2,359, and there are lots of payment options which I will go through at the end of the demo. You get everything that you will see me use today, plus a few extras, but I will go through what's included when I talk to you about how you can pay for your Thermomix. So without further ado, we will get cracking. Now also, I forgot to mention a little bit of housekeeping. The chat bar, Crystal's found the chat bar, but if you want to ask any questions as we go, pop your questions in the chat bar and I can answer those, or there's only a small group, so if you've got a question, just come off mute and jump in and give me a shout and ask me anything as we go. Now, I've told the Thermomix what we're cooking today. I've done a meal plan and I've actually planned the recipes to be in my week in the Thermomix, and I'll show you more about that during the demo as well. So I'm just going into my week, and here is my 3 recipes that I am making today. So I'm going to start with the herb and garlic dip. And if you wanted to have a look at the ingredients, if you want to kind of check out the recipe whilst you're on your Thermomix, you can press the little down button there, and it will show you all the bits and pieces of the recipe. You can get your ingredients out and all of that. And if you want to, you can just hit start cooking and wing it as you go. So I'm more of a, if I'm cooking by myself without being online, I usually just grab the ingredients as I go. But if I'm online, I've got my little tray all set up with the ingredients beforehand. So now this is the herb and garlic dip, which is, I reckon, probably the easiest thing. If someone rang you and said, I'm just about to come over for a drink or something like that, I reckon the herb and garlic dip would be probably one of the easiest things to get ready in a flash if you're a bit unprepared. So I pop in a garlic clove and go next. So the Thermomix is going to give me step-by-step instructions on how to do this. I'm going to pop in my parsley. I got the wrong thing. Some parsley from my garden, I might add, and 2 spring onions. Now, I've got 2 of the stems of spring onions, and then I've got a little bit of the leaves. I've got them chopped up there to go on top as a garnish as well. And then I'm going to give that a blitz up for 3 seconds. So it's nice and quick. Who did we welcome then, Rigo? Excellent. Welcome, Michelle. I've also got Shane in the driver's seat there, so I'm not talking to myself. Shane is driving the cameras for me today. So now if you have a look in that bowl, Shane, you can see that that's chopped that up really nice and fine. in 3 seconds. And now I'm going to pop in my cream cheese. So just your Philly cream cheese. Or actually, you probably don't need Philly. You could probably have any brand, but Philly's the one I like. Okay. And I just break that in half with my spatula and kind of put it in half in each side. And go next. And then we just want to put in 2 tablespoons of yogurt or a little bit of milk. So this just kind of tones down the heat of the garlic. I've had it without it and it's fine, but for most palates, you do just want a little bit of yogurt in there. It's much nicer with a little bit of yogurt. And then that's it. You then go next. You're now going for 20 seconds. So I lied when I said 10. It's 20 seconds. Oh, hello, Ali. You're there. Excellent. Okay, and then we're ready to serve. So there you go. Sorry, I did lie. It's more than 10 seconds. It's 20, I'll say less than 30 seconds. How about that? Rightio. So there we go. There's our herb and garlic dip. And if you've ever went to a Thermomix demo, I don't know, pre-COVID or, you know, a few years ago, you probably have tried this and you probably know that this is delicious. What's the beeping, Shane? We've got some type of beeping happening here, but we're not sure what it's from. Do you know? You can't hear it. I'm asking the deaf guy if he can hear the beep. So, now I'm going to pop my little garnish on that. And you could actually make 2 containers of herb and garlic dip if you like. Sometimes I do that if I'm going to put one in the fridge and serve one now. But there's your herb and garlic dip all ready to go. And I'm actually not going to clean my bowl either because I'm now going to go on to our cheese puffs. And if they've got a little bit of Philly cheese in there, they're not going to matter. So that's that recipe finished. I hit finish. And I'm going back into my week and I am going to hit the Brazilian cheese puffs. And again, I could have a look at the ingredients, but I already know what's in them. And then I'm going to preheat my oven, which I've already done. Hopefully it's up to heat by the time we need it. Let me just up that ante a little bit on that. There we go. And I've got my muffin tin. So I've got my mini muffin tin here. There's my rose gold mini muffin tin, which you can get from the mix shop if you like what you see with that. And I am going to give it a little spritz with my oil sprayer too, just to make sure that they don't stick. There we go. And I might just pop that there. Now make sure you ask me any questions as I go too, guys, so that I'm answering anything that you might want to know about the Thermomix as well. Or if you've got a Thermomix, anything that you might need a hint or tip with. Okay, now into here I'm going to add my cheese. Now I have made this with any cheese you like, from Parmesan, Tasty. This is just a vintage cheese that I had for another recipe. So we're having vintage cheese puffs today. So I'm going to pop in my cheese. And it's going to grate that. Now this is actually going to probably... I'm just going to stop it there and give it a knockdown because it will stick to the sides of it because I had the dirty bowl. So I just want to give that a scrape down and make sure that all my cheese is going to get chopped up in there. And then I'm going to keep going on my 9 seconds. Lovely. Now I'm going to put my milk in. Again, this is just following your nose. You don't need to be a good cook to be able to cook in the Thermomix. It's just following the steps and making sure that you, make sure that you read the instructions and don't miss a step, I guess. Now, pop in your oil. Now I'm using up a bit of, you can use any oil that you want for these. So if you're making these at home, whatever oil you want to cook with, it says vegetable oil. I had some sunflower oil and also some Heart Smart safflower oil. I don't know much about oil, but whatever you like to cook with is fine. You just want something that's not too strong tasting is your main thing. Your egg and your arrowroot flour. And I have found, if you live in Coffs Harbour, I have found a cheaper place to buy your arrowroot flour too. I haven't actually been and done that yet, but I have, not that it's really that expensive anyway. It's only, I don't know, $1 something for a little container. And lots of people's mums had this in their pantry when they were growing up and no one ever knew what we really used it for, but cheese puffs are what we use it for. And I have got it on good authority. I haven't tried it, but I have got it on good authority that just using plain flour works too if you don't need it to be gluten-free as well. So pop in some salt, and now we're going to mix that up really well. So then we just blend that for 20 seconds. And I'm going to give that a scrape down and continue blending it. So just to make sure when it tells you to stop to scrape down the sides, just always remember to do your lid as well. You just want to make sure all the ingredients are down near the blades and are getting incorporated into those blades. It's a bit sticky on the sides because of my cream cheese. Okay, go next, and just mixes it for another 5 seconds. And that is the Brazilian cheese puffs done in the Thermomix. So then we just pop them in the muffin tray and bake them for about 15 minutes in a nice hot oven. And at the moment it just looks like a runny batter, kind of. A little bit like a pancake consistency. But you will see in a minute how good it looks when you finish them. And we are obsessed with cheese puffs in our house, and we've perfected adding pieces of bacon to ours. So we're going to add some bacon today for ours as well. But you can put anything in them. You could put garlic in them. You could put sun-dried tomato. You could put pesto, a little scoop of pesto in each of them. They're a really plain thing if you don't put anything in with them, but then they take on the flavour of anything that you want to add as well. So if you're doing like a curry or like a bolognese or something like that you want to have like a bread kind of substitute with, then these are really good for that, just plain, because they obviously that you can put any flavour with them as well. Right, so there we go. That's all scraped out. Sit there for a sec. Then I'm going to pop some bacon. This is the bit that isn't in the recipe, okay? So you can thank Shane for this addition if you make these. So then we just sprinkle some diced bacon in the top of them, like so. You want to make sure you get it, kind of push it down a little bit as well. Has anyone had these? Come off mute and tell me if you've had these before, if you've got a Thermomix. Anyone? No. Hey? Bueller. Thanks, Shane. I'm just talking to myself. It's fine.
What do you want to say? I like cheese puffs.
Oh, very good.
Carrie's favourite.
Oh, thanks, Ollie.
We do them with lactose-free cheese and rice milk.
Oh, there you go.
And often I put an extra egg in.
Oh, rightio.
Yeah, plus another bit.
Oh, Ali's had them, but she hasn't tried them with bacon. I think I might have made them at your demo, did I, Ali? And but I didn't have the bacon with me because it's not in the recipe. So I have to be careful to make sure I've got bacon on hand because it's not in the recipe, so it doesn't add it to the shopping list. So yeah, gotta be careful with that one. Now let me just wash my hands and we will get started on the next recipe. Now I'm very lucky that I have got a spare bowl, blade and lid. So now I don't need to wash up my dirty bowl. I'm just going to sit it over there for Shane to wash up after the demo. And I can now just grab my clean bowl from here and continue cooking, which is the beauty of having a second bowl, which if you've got a Thermomix, I can tell you about that in a minute. Now, I'm going to go finish on now, and now I'm going to go back into my week and we're going to do our mushroom risotto. Now, Shane, don't let me forget the cheese puffs, okay? It's your responsibility to make sure that I don't burn the cheese puffs. But I think they're going to need a little bit longer today because, that didn't wipe that very well. I think they're going to need a little bit longer today because the oven isn't quite up to temperature. So anyway, mushroom risotto, who loves it? Oh, Ali makes cheese and bacon scrolls quite often. They are a real winner, aren't they? Shane and I were just doing some money comparisons with the cheese and bacon rolls that I make for the kids versus buying them at Woolworths or buying them at Baker's Delight. And I don't know how people can afford to buy them if they go through as many as we go through. So yes, cheese and bacon scrolls are also a winner. Shane will have to put scrolls on the list of that list that we were making too. Anyway, mushroom risotto is also a winner with money saving because at our local little Italian place, mushroom risotto is $25 a container. So you're going to be getting probably 4 or 5 serves of $25 when you make it yourself. And I haven't done the comparison, but I can tell you it definitely doesn't cost $100 to make mushroom risotto in your Thermomix. I had everything, or actually the only thing I didn't have for mushroom risotto in my fridge today was the Parmesan cheese, which Shane had to go and buy. Anyway, let's get started. So the Parmesan cheese that we speak of. So we like to buy our Parmesan cheese in bulk, not in bulk, in a block. I actually do need to know where you can buy Parmesan cheese in bulk, if anybody knows, because we do go through quite a lot of it. So you buy it in the block and then you can just grate that up yourself. So pop your cheese in, hit next, and you're going to give that a good grate. And I just stop that because you can actually hear that it's done as well. So it only needs like 7 seconds. And there you go. You'll see that that's nicely grated and ready to sprinkle on your risotto when you are ready. Now, the next step is clean and dry the mixing bowl. I just give it a little bit of water, slush it around, make sure that the base hasn't got any Parmesan cheese on it. And I continue on with my recipe. Now I'm going to pop in my onion. Now who hates cutting onions? Because this is saying that it only wants 30 grams, but I'm not going to put 3/4 of an onion back in the fridge. So I'm going in with my whole onion, which is a little bit more than 30 grams, but I am going to chop it in 3 seconds. And give it a scrape down. And there's our onion chopped in 3 seconds. And no tears so far, which is always a winner. Okay, then we're going to pop in our butter and our oil. And as you can see, the scales are popping up. When it says that I need 40 grams of oil, the scales are popping up, so I can just weigh straight in. I don't need to have, you know, kitchen scales or measurements or jugs or anything like that for my oil as well. And then I go next and I pop that on, lid on. Now that's going to saute my onion for 3 minutes. So while the Thermomix, the things that we've seen in the Thermomix, I've pretty much had to be here because it's like next, and they're quite quick. When there's a cooking step in the Thermomix, this is where you can actually leave your Thermomix. You could do the washing up, you can talk to the kids or whatever. And that's where your time saving comes in, because you actually now for 3 minutes don't need to give your attention to the Thermomix. Rightio, in the 3 minutes, I'm going to tell you about cookidoo. So I did mention cookidoo before, how I've got my week set up and I've got my recipes that the Thermomix knows that I'm going to make. But basically this is cookidoo.com.au is where all of the recipes for your TM6 live. It is a subscription service and it is your one-stop shop for all the recipes that have been made for the TM6. Now, as you can see there's a couple of examples of some different collections that have been made, but you also can search by category. So if you are dairy-free or gluten-free or one of those kind of ways of eating, then you can easily find recipes that are going to suit you and your family as well. And you can also search by ingredients. So you can go in there and say, oh, well, I've got chicken and mushrooms or whatever you've got in the, whatever you've got in your fridge, and cookidoo will come up with a recipe that will suit you because it will be what you've got in the fridge on hand. Thanks, Shane. Now, when I was talking about meal plans, this is what that looks like. So this is where you can plan your meals for the week or the fortnight or the month, and then from there you can also do your shopping list. You can also connect your cookidoo to the Woolworths online shopping and be able to do your grocery shopping all from your shopping list that you've made from your meal plan. Now we've also got an app for cookidoo as well, and that means that you can take everywhere you take your phone, you basically take all of your Thermomix recipes with you, and that makes it really easy to be able to plan what you're going to have for dinner if you haven't already planned it, you know, while you're at Woolies in the afternoon. Now, cookidoo 3.0 has just been added, and this is where you can do a few different things actually. The first really cool thing is that you can add your own recipes to cookidoo. So everybody's been asking us, when are we going to be able to have our own recipes on the step-by-step instructions on the screen of your TM6, and the answer is you can now. So you can import recipes from the recipe community, you can import recipes from cookidoo and tweak them, or you can type in your very own recipes as well. Back to me for a second, Shane. We'll come back to the other cool thing about cookidoo in just a second, but we'll get our risotto going as well. So there we go, there's our, oh, that's really steamy. There's our onion, has all been sauteed. It's just been sort of sweated off in there. And now we're going to add our rice. Of course, now back to tips for people who've already got a Thermomix. Make sure that you always use a Boreo rice when you are making a risotto, because it will not work. Well, it will not work as well with any other type of rice, because this is the rice that has been designed especially for risotto. Or actually, risotto's probably been designed especially for that rice. I don't know which came first. Okay, now we're going to toast that rice, and we are now on our high heat of our TM6. So this is as hot as the Thermomix gets, and this is like 160 degrees, and it is going to toast that rice off hands-free, so we don't have to worry about it. If we were doing this on the stove, we definitely wouldn't want to leave it. We'd have to be stirring it constantly, but with the Thermomix you could walk away now and you won't burn it. Now, can you just go back to cookidoo 3.0, Shane? Because I probably don't need the slide because there's nothing on the slide about it. Come back to me. Sorry, false alarm. Okay, cookidoo 3.0. The really cool thing that they're just about to add, we haven't actually got it yet, is also recipe scaling. So if there's a recipe and it says that it serves 6, you can actually tell cookidoo, look, when we do risotto, we only want it for 2 people, and it will actually scale it back for you. Or if it is a recipe that might do 4 and you actually want it to go to 8, it will scale it up for you. So that's really cool. That's been something that we've been really hounding them for, because you know, if you're only cooking for yourself and one other person, you don't want to make you know, a kilo of risotto. I get that, and vice versa. So yes. Oh, Joe Picton, you didn't know about that yet. It hasn't been released. Stoked. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. I like to be able to excite you at least once every virtual cooking experience, Joe. So there we go. Tick for today.
Did I miss it at a meeting or something? Did I?
I feel like I should have probably told you, but I'm not sure if I have, because it hasn't come yet. So I'm not singing it from the rooftops just yet, because I don't want 1,000,001 people saying to me, "Oh, it's still not doing it on mine." I usually wait for these things to be released before I tell anyone, but I was very excited about recipe scaling, so I thought that is a good one to mention. Making your own recipes, like how excited were we, Joe, when cookidoo 3.0 came and we were able to make put our own recipes in cookidoo. It was like groundbreaking, wasn't it?
Yes, it's the one thing since about 2014, 15 that people have asked me.
Yes.
And you put your own recipes, so it's like, hallelujah.
And just to make a liar out of me, I think I can quote myself at demos in 2014 saying, "Don't even worry about that. You're never going to be able to do that, okay? So don't even ask about it. It won't ever happen." And look what happens. But anyway, I hope people know I'm not a liar. I answer things to the best of my ability at the time. Rightio, so our 3 minutes is done toasting our rice there. If you have a little look, yeah, rice is, oh, look at that. It's absorbed all that butter and oil. Oh, yum. And now I'm going to pop my wine in. Just going to always, if you are a Thermomix owner, just always make sure when you take your lid off, you just check that you're back to 0. Can you just do the screen, Shane? Yeah. So make sure you're always back to 0 by just hitting the tear button, because you want to not put, you know, not get the ingredients wrong, even though that was a little bit wrong, but that's fine. What does? Oh, okay, cheese puffs should be ready, but I don't reckon they will quite be ready. But that's now going to absorb that bit of wine that I just put in there and keep cooking. The cheese puffs are looking delightful, Shane. I reckon they are almost ready. So I'm going to give them 2 more minutes, please, Shane. Okay, excellent. So that's cookidoo. Like I said, it is a subscription service. When you get your new TM6, you do get 6 months for free of cookidoo, and then after that it is $69 a year to have cookidoo as well. Now, in other news, we do have a few black Thermomixes left, only about 200 and something. Black Thermomixes, and I think there's some people on the call that actually have got themselves a black Thermomix. I know Joe Picton has got herself a black Thermomix, but I think some of our... Jessica has? Oh yes, of course, Jess, you have. I'm now going to have to remember people's faces, and also, did they get a white or a black Thermomix? So yes, there is about 200 left of the black Thermomix. Thanks, Dal. So you can still get a black Thermomix for $2,429. I'd say today or tomorrow they will be sold out. You will get 2 free thermo servers with the black Thermomix as well. Now the current special offer with the white Thermomix, and now this is till the black Thermomix is sold out because we will have a new special, like I said, probably in the next day or so. But right now, if you were to want to buy a white Thermomix, you do get a free 2.6 litre stainless steel thermo server with that. Now, what is a thermo server, I hear you ask? And I do provide. I will come back. Here I am. This is a thermo server. So it is a double-walled, insulated bowl that keeps food hot or cold for 2 hours. And there's lots of recipes in the Thermomix that says like pop that into your thermo server. This recipe even says pop it into your thermo server to keep it warm, and it will absorb that last bit of liquid and stuff like that during lots of different recipes. So yeah, okay, back to my risotto. And I also am wary that I wanted to only give my cheese puffs 2 minutes, but that's okay, they're fine. Now, I'm going to give my bowl a scrape. Now, when you are making risotto at home, make sure you do not skip this step because you want to make sure that there's no rice stuck to the bottom of your bowl because you want that all in your risotto. You don't want that on your bowl at the end. So give that a good little stir, and then the water will actually deglaze. Is deglaze the right word? Something like that, the bottom of the bowl. Now, vegetable stock. So for those of you who've just got your Thermomix, so I know Jess you have, and I know Michelle you have as well. If you haven't already made a container of vegetable stock paste, make sure that you do that as soon as possible because you will need it in lots of recipes, and it is probably one of the best things that that you make in your Thermomix. So get onto your vegetable stock paste. And that replaces all of your liquid stocks, stock cubes, any stock stuff, those enhancement powders that you can get, all of that. Now I'm popping in, oh, that's mushrooms, not water. Oops, my bad. I'm going to put in 250 grams of mushrooms. Stock will last 6 months in the fridge or more if you don't, it's got plenty of salt in it, so it is quite preserved. But it won't last you 2 months because you'll, 6 months I mean, because you'll use it all the time, so. And we want water. So this is like we've added liquid stock to this because I've put my stock concentrated paste in and now I'm topping it up with water. And then I am going to make sure and give my bowl a scrape like it tells you to, just to make sure that like I said, that those bits of rice on the bottom have come up and the water has got down there to clean that bottom of my bowl off. There we go. And then we put our lid on and we now have got 13 minutes where we don't need to be with our Thermomix. What was that, Shane? Oh, cheese puffs. Yes, thank you. I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. Oh, slightly burnt the bacon bits of the cheese puffs, but look at how good they look. Those extra 2 minutes just made them nice and brown. But these cheese puffs are delicious. I want to show you them in a bowl. Righty-o. And you definitely want to keep your veggie stock in the fridge, Michelle. Some people do keep it in the freezer, but there's actually no point because it won't freeze anyway because of the salt content. And you actually need the salt content for the flavour. And don't be worried about how much salt is in it because there's actually far less salt in our veggie stock than there is in any stock that you buy from the shops. So you're still saving yourself eating all that salt that you would be buying in your ones from the shops. There you go, look at that for a little snack. There's my cheese puffs. How good do they look? Rigo's dying for one of those, but I'm going to sit it over here where he can't reach it without coming on camera. It's a bit nasty, isn't it, Shane? He always He always leans over and tries to grab one of them, but nah, he has to come around and talk to us if he wants one of those today. Rightio. Now, like I said, you've now got 13 minutes to do whatever you like. So I'll keep talking. Like I said, make sure you come off mute and ask questions if you have got any questions, or pop them in the chat as well. Oh, and that was Jess that said that. No, oh, sorry, Jess, I thought it was Michelle. Excellent. Oh, very good. Your second bowl's on order, do you mean, Michelle, I think? Or your black Thermomix? Either one. I think you're getting both. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about now? Host reward. So at the moment, and thank you so much to those people who have invited their friends to come along and join us today. At the moment, we do have a special host reward, but this is our host rewards that we offer all the time for you guys inviting your friends. So hosting a Thermomix demo has never been easier. All you need to do is share the link or the recording of this to your friends, and they can watch it and decide if a Thermomix is for them. And now Shane's come behind me to get cheese puff while you can't see me. Oh, I tell you what, it's hard to get good help. Anyway, so like I said, these are the offers that we've got available all the time. So the Thermo servers that we talked about, you're not seeing the bread mat and the oven mat today, but trust me, they're really great to have in your kitchen. And you get one for free if a friend decides to buy, or you can buy it at a discount just for hosting a demonstration as well. But the special, Shane, whilst you've got your mouthful of cheese puff over there, come on, down the bottom, down, bowl, blade and lid special. There you go, that's the one. Rightio, so for a limited time, our hosts can secure themselves a second bowl, blade and lid for a discounted price. If a friend purchases at your demonstration, the bowl, blade and lid only costs you $110, and if not, but you still have got your friends along to your demo, it is $275. Yes, that's right, which is pretty good for me to remember that without that being written on that slide. Anyway, so we do love you guys inviting your friends along, because this is how our business works, is that you guys love your Thermomixes, we help you love your Thermomixes, and in exchange for that, you invite your friends along. So I'm very happy to say that lots of people have been sharing the Thermomix love this month so far, because we do have such a great offer for our hosts as well. But fear not if you're just getting started with Thermomix. We do have really good host offers all the time. So your consultant will keep you up to date with what's available. What now, Shane? Let's tell them how to buy a Thermomix. Excellent, thank you. Oh, well, you could become a Thermomix consultant. Okay, we'll go there. So we are always on the hunt for Thermomix consultants, and if you would like to join our team, Shane's coming to get more cheese puffs. They're going to be all gone before we finish. I tell you what, we do love having new people come on board, and to join our team and have as much fun as we have, it only costs $125 to get started. So if that's something that you have ever considered, come to one of our info sessions and just see if it's for you as well. But if that's not for you and you want to buy a Thermomix, then you can pay $2,359 with any of our single payment options, which is PayPal, credit card, bank deposit, or Afterpay. Or at the moment, we've got 24 months interest free with Zip Money. So you can buy a Thermomix for $24.56 a week, which I always say, if you want to just come back to me for a second, Shane, I just want to tell these lovely people. I always say $24.56 a week, and your consultant can easily find that in your grocery budget for you. But I'm currently working on a little bit of a guide to exactly how you would save $24.56. And so far I've only done cheese and bacon rolls, yogurt, and what was the other thing, Doug? Oh, grated cheese. And I reckon I'm already there. So it's going to be yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at. If fitting it into your budget is a problem for you, then definitely talk to your consultant because we can help you fit it into your budget. What's the other payment options, Rigo? Thanks, darling. So we do also have the Easy 3 payment option, which you pay $1,009 when you order your Thermomix, and then 30 days later you pay $700, and then 30 days after that you pay another $700. So that just breaks that $2,359 down a little bit for you. I think that's all. Now, have we got any questions? Shane's given me a thumbs up, like that's all the options. So I must have mentioned everything. So that's always a good sign. I've got 5 minutes before my risotto is ready, Shane. Oh, there we go. So yeah, that's how this is how you see if how much time you've got left. So you've got the screen, it just counts down. Like I said, you don't actually need to be here for this part of the cooking. You could be off doing something. I used to be able to, when I had children that I used to have to attend bath time for, I could get the risotto on, and I remember that my thing was to try and get the kids bathed in the 13 minutes that it was to do the risotto, and I would have them out of the bath before that bell dinged for our risotto to be ready as well. Yeah. Very good. Any other questions? Talk to me. The other great thing is that your spatula has actually got a guard on it. So you can, if you want to stir and you want to feel like you're being involved with the cooking process, you can actually pop it in there and give it a little stir, see how you're going. If you like to have a little try, you can have a little lick of the spoon to see if you think it might need anything. I don't do that because I just follow recipes. I'm a recipe follower. I don't add anything usually except a little bit extra of most things. And if it needed something, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what it was. So, but if you like the stirring, you can still do the stirring with the Thermomix as well. And did anybody, I don't know if you did, Joe, get along to our hot cross bun cook along on Thursday? Oh, Joe's left me. Oh no, there she is. Did you go to the hot cross bun cook along, Joe?
I did, and I want to show you something. Look.
Oh. Hang on a sec, Joe. Shane's just pinning you. No. There we go. Oh, you've got hot cross buns in the oven.
Yes.
Wow.
First time I've done them in a couple of years.
Yep.
I thought it was time I did them again.
Yep.
They're a bit anemic. I leave them a bit longer.
They need a little bit longer. Excellent. Excellent.
So I did, but I had a friend here, so I was a little bit distracted. So I didn't pick up all the hints and tips, but I love how you pick up all these hints and tips, you know?
Yeah. Even if you've been thermomixing since 2014, Joe, there's still stuff to learn, isn't there? Every time I go to one of those things that someone says something and I think, oh, I didn't know that, or oh, I'll try that. I wonder what the price comparison is on the hot cross buns, Joe. Maybe we should add that, because that would definitely be a lot cheaper, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something worth looking at.
Yeah.
I saw a post you tagged, Lisa's post today was amazing, and I've only just been thinking I need to be more interactive with information and so on, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
It was a good one for those that didn't see it, it was a prawn, noodle and prawn, just a dish that you make in the Thermomix. But Lisa, one of our consultants, had actually broken down how much it cost her to make 4 or 5 serves compared to how much it would cost at a takeaway, or to get it at a restaurant or have it made. So it was, it was really good, wasn't it, Joe? And it looked so good. The actual meal looked really good, and I was like, I felt like gate crashing Lisa's house and ducking over for dinner. But how do the hot cross buns look, Joe?
I'm impressed.
You're impressed? Yep. Excellent, excellent. Very good. Now, Jess, Ali, Crystal, I can't see anybody else. Any questions for me? I know, Jess, have you got any? I know you're a brand new owner to Thermomix. Have you got any questions that have popped up for your new Thermomix?
I don't think I do, to be honest.
That's all right.
I know we spoke about the chocolate the other day.
Yep.
I couldn't seem to get right, but other than that, we're making basil pesto tonight and we're going to have a
Nice. That's a winner. You need to get your herb garden. Have you got herbs?
The herbs that he just cut. Hang on, you need to see this.
Oh.
He just cut up all our basil.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at me trying to give you herb tips. You've already mastered that.
Herb garden.
I love it. You use so many fresh herbs and stuff once you've got your Thermomix. So yeah, it's a really it's a very good money saving tip also is to have them growing, because it costs an absolute fortune to buy them, and like, you know, they're.
You don't use it and you just leave it in the fridge, they just die.
That's right. I just threw out half a bunch of mint that I didn't use from the weekend. But if it was growing, I could have just left it on the tree and only picked what I wanted. But my mint's even, I'm that stupid at growing things that even my mint's not growing. So
Oh, our mint is a weed.
yeah, I know. Well, most people's is, but not mine. Not when I need it. When I don't need, when I'm not cooking anything with mint, I've got mint, but not when I actually need it. Now, when you do your mushroom risotto, when the mushrooms go in, this risotto recipe, you could add anything that you wanted. You could pop chicken in it, prawns, pieces of raw pumpkin. That will all cook in the same time as your mushrooms do. So just be wary that you don't have to always find a different recipe. You can always tweak a recipe that you've got as well. So this one looks absolutely to die for. And if you get your mushroom risotto out and it is a little bit runny, if you think, oh, that's still a bit runny, it is supposed to be like that. The last bit of the liquid is meant to be absorbed by the rice by sitting it in your thermo server and letting it absorb. Put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it, leave it for 2 minutes, let it soak up that last bit of liquid, and then serve. So that's done. Ali, raw chicken, just cut in bite-sized pieces, will cook in the time that your mushrooms cook, love. Okay, that is our cooking experience done for Sunday. We've got our thermo server full of mushroom risotto. We've got our cheese, what's left of our cheese puffs here. Thank you very much, Shane. And our herb and garlic dip. Now, your herb and garlic dip will last a couple of days in the fridge as well. The cheese puffs won't last at all because you'll eat them before you need to worry about storing them. But you can actually keep them in a sealed container once they cool down as well. I'm yet to see a cool cheese puff in our house because they're always eaten warm. And obviously your mushroom risotto, if you don't eat it all on the first day, make arancini balls tomorrow night with that as well. So there you go, guys. That's our cooking experience done for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining us. I will stay on if everyone can leave meeting now. Farewell. If you've got any questions, happy to stay on and chat. Oh, that's okay, Jess. I am sending you the dates for other cooking experiences. And I will have a recording as well. So if your friend didn't jump on, you can always share the recording with them as well. I'll have that ready probably tomorrow by lunchtime-ish. Very good. No problems, Jess. Thanks, Ali. I would have liked to see your face, Ali. Thanks, Crystal. Bye, love.
Thanks, Gemma.
No worries, Joe. How are you going?